Hello all, Dave Metzger coming to you from Mountainside Outfitters in for the Missouri, just east of Springfield, Missouri. Hopefully I can get this done in one shot before I get rained out here. Want to get back to work on the range. We are building new shooting ranges. If you hadn't heard, this is a behind the scenes tour, kind of give you an idea of what we're building, how we're building it, that sort of thing. I'm going to quickly get back to putting dirt inside that container because wet dirt is a whole lot harder to work with than dry dirt. So hopefully this rain holds off for a minute, and we're going to get through here and show you what we got going on. So the old range used to be back here, and it was much smaller, and it was not open to the public for you to bring your own things. You could rent our guns, you could take classes. We did gunsmithing, building guns, testing, and that sort of thing, but you couldn't bring your own stuff. This one, we're going to be insured for you to bring your own toys. You can bring anything you want, anything that's legal, muzzleloaders, shotguns, FRTs, we don't care, it doesn't make any difference. So we're doubling up the walls, making them much bigger, deeper, wider. Our back property line is not a 90-degree angle to the Route 60 right away, so the back line is going to be angled. So the left side is going to be a lot longer than the right side is, just because of the nature of the property line. So we're going to take all these shipping containers and we're going to grab onto them with a hydraulic tool to be able to pull them into place. It's pretty hard to get them exactly into place with the 12,000-pound telehandler lift because it's just too touchy and it bounces and jumps them and moves them too fast. So we're going to dial those into place and then weld them all together and then anchor them to the ground. That way, if we get real high wind gusts, we don't have to worry about them moving or falling over. And when we pile up dirt against them, we don't have to worry about them shoving out. So we're going to fill the lower containers with dirt. So you'll have 2 layers of steel plus filled with dirt, and that's quart steel. It's really strong stuff. And then on top of that, we're taking this dirt, which isn't in place yet because we have to do welding. We're going to be doing the welding tomorrow. This dirt's going to get piled up at an angle to not only add more mass and more protection, more safety, but also for sound, because those angled walls not only absorb sound, it'll deflect it upward and make it a lot quieter. So again, these corners are not square. After I fill that shipping container with dirt, we'll add the next one. It'll come to here, and then this row will come this direction after that. And then starting here, we're going to have the ends of a shipping container going there 40 feet, and then another 20-footer, and then another 40-footer. We've got most of the shipping containers on hand. We've had a lot of trouble getting the shipping containers this time. We've got like 51, 52 now. Never had a problem getting them before. This time it's been a nightmare. It's been 6 weeks. We still don't have all of them. We're working with 5 different companies trying to get them. We've just been having crazy troubles with them. But so that's basically the idea with that. And that's the 20-footer, and there to there is the 40-footer. This last 40-footer is going to be our own private range. So that way, no matter what's going on with the main range, if there's date night, if there's a safety class, whatever, we still have somewhere we can gunsmith, test guns, build guns, test firearm, rent full auto guns, that sort of thing. And we have our own little designated tiny little range there. In addition to this main range, we have the 100-yard range. Is going to be in these shipping containers, and it's going to go behind the factory. Obviously, I have an awful lot of stuff we've got to move here to be able to make that happen. So the 100-yard range won't be done as soon as the rest of it, because all this stuff has to be moved and get all this infrastructure and everything out of the way. That's going to be going, 300 feet for 100 yards. And then we're going to build a room on there, stick built, to help with make it even quieter where you're up there shooting. And we're going to leave most of the wall where the containers, doors meet up together end to end. Most of that's going to stay in place and act as giant baffles, just like a suppressor. And we'll have slots cut out in the roof and on the sides, same as like a muzzle brake on a gun. And it should quiet it down a lot. To my knowledge, nobody's ever built a shooting range this way, but it's going to be very safe. It should be very quiet by comparison to a lot of other options, and should work really well. So this is the factory. We are stealing a big room from the factory. We just added 4 windows here. These are double windows. There's a window on the outside, a space, and then another double window, another double pane window on the inside. Help with sound, air conditioner up there. This is where you're going to come out onto the range. This is where you're going to leave the range to go back to the store over here, back through the front door. You can skip the main store altogether and come straight to the range. You're going to be able to come through this new door here we're going to add. You'll check in there. You'll be able to do your liability waiver, watch a safety video. We'll scan your ID so that we've got it on file. That way you don't have to do it all again. And you'll be able to have a little mini store in there where you can purchase ammo, targets, ear protection, eye protection, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do is reinforce this wall here, cut a door out right between these windows here. That's where you'll enter into what used to be the factory and is now the gun range check-in room. We can add on to the factory later on the other side. We'll have a lot more room to do it over there. I'm reshooting this video, guys. We'll be able to add more space there. They're already getting a lot more space now because not only are we giving them more space than they had with this loft because it's cantilevered, but in addition to that, they now have the space that they can get to on top of the other cans they could only get to before with a ladder, and now we're building stairs today. So they'll be able to get up there with the stairs and use all that extra space up there as well. So we're chopping up the factory to make room for the gun range, but they're getting more square footage out of it, and we can always add on to the other side a lot easier. So that's right where we're going to cut out the entrance door. You'll come in there. We're abandoning that door, putting a fiberglass insulated wall over it to help with sound. You'll have benches for sitting here. You'll have a bench to set your gear and stuff down. We'll have some stools here. So if you want to watch from inside where it's a lot quieter, you can watch people out on the range out there. And then we'll have the little mini store here. Back there, we'll have a room to be able to lock up all the rental guns and that sort of thing. So then after you check in here, then you're going to go out here. This is going to be a push bar door. So as you're carrying your gear, you can kind of hit it with your hip and swing it open. You'll want to shut the door behind you before you open up the one in front of you to help control sound. This will be switched to an outswing door that you can hit with a push bar with your hip and push it out there. So today I'm going to be filling up the shipping containers with dirt. And tomorrow the welders get here and lock those into place. I want to get those welded and anchored first. So if I accidentally bump one as I'm setting the next ones in place, I don't whack them all out of place. You wouldn't think so, but that 12,000 pound lift can pretty easily shove all 4 of those containers at the same time. I know that for a fact because I accidentally did it. Hit a button and it didn't push in all the way, didn't register the command I was trying to switch to, and it did what it was programmed to do and not what I was trying to switch it to, and I bumped it and it moved all 4 containers at once. So it's touchy and it's powerful and it's pretty easy to knock them out of place. So we're going to get those welded in. Then we'll start stacking more containers, bringing them in, closing them in. We'll get the short range opened as soon as possible. The things like the 20 foot of concrete here, the shooting stations, the roof over it, all that kind of stuff, target returns, all that will come later. At first, we're just trying to get it open as soon as possible so that you can bring whatever toys you want. Shotguns, muzzleloaders, FRTs, don't make any difference. Bring whatever you want and you'll be able to shoot it here. The 100-yard range will come after we get more progress on the shorter range. Hopefully it's about a month or so. We really don't know. It's a lot, it depends on what orders come in. We do all this stuff ourselves. So we're also filling custom built gun orders, custom packages, and out here playing on equipment in the dirt. So we don't know. Hopefully a few weeks, maybe a month. We'll see. I'll get it done as fast as I can. But it is coming. It is in progress. And you'll be able to come down and shoot your toys and have lots of fun very soon. Thank you all so much. Spread the word. Appreciate it. Have a good one. P.S. I forgot to mention we need a whole lot more fill. I'll dig the pond bigger if I need to and get the fill that way. But if anybody needs somewhere to get rid of it, we would love to take it. So anytime we're open, 9 to 7 every day but Tuesday, bring by whatever you got. Doesn't matter if it's concrete, rock, dirt, mulch, whatever. If you need somewhere to dump off fill, bring it by Mountainside Outfitters. We would love to take it. Thank you so much.